So we get a lot of calls for people who want to correct their military record. This is wrong with it, that is wrong with it, I should have been medically retired. There is a particular board in each of the services, but we're going to talk about the Army, called the Army Discharge Review Board. What do they do?
The Army Discharge Review Board looks at the narrative of a discharge, the reason for the discharge, and the characterization of the discharge, and they can make corrections if the corrections are warranted.
Seems like a very limited scope.
It is. It's incredibly limited. And the other types of things that you might want to correct on your military record would be at the ABCMR, the Army Board for Correction of Military Records.
All right, so the Discharge Review Board just says, hey, the characterization was right or wrong, the narrative saying why you were kicked out is right or wrong, and that's it.
That's it, yes. And it's also important to note that it's only if you've been discharged fairly recently. It's only within the last 15 years. So if your discharge is older than that, if you're a Vietnam era veteran, this is not the board for you. That's the ABCMR.
All right, so if you want a quick and dirty answer, and nothing's really quick and dirty with boards.
Nothing's quick and dirty.
You would go to the Discharge Review Board.
That's correct. And if you still don't get the relief you're looking for at the Army Discharge Review Board, you still have the option to then go to the ABCMR, the Army Board of Correction of Military Records, and ask the same question again.
Right. I guess the board looks at, hey, was this a proper discharge? Is it equitable, right? Because sometimes Army policies change, right? You and I grew up in the DDAT world, right?
That's right.
Don't ask, don't tell.
That's right.
And we were kicking folks out all the time for being homosexuals. That's changed.
And so those soldiers could come back and say, I don't want my military discharge to reflect that that's the reason I got out, that's the reason I was discharged due to homosexuality. And the Army Discharge Review Board would change that to just be a different thing, usually secretarial plenary authority, which is just a catch-all for everything else.
Okay. Well, what can the Discharge Review Board do? They can grant the request.
Absolutely. They can deny the request.
And I guess they can split the baby sometimes. They'll grant part of it, but
That's
not
right.
full relief.
Change some of the narrative, but keep the discharge the same, keep the characterization of the discharge the same. Yes, that would be another example.
Why is it important, say, for a soldier to change their discharge from general to honorable?
That is most important for veterans' benefits. For any benefits that they're going to get from the VA, those benefits are reserved really for soldiers with honorable discharges. And so if you don't have an honorable discharge, those benefits can be not available to you.
Right. The most important benefit, the difference between a general under honorable and an honorable discharge, is if you don't get that honorable discharge, you don't get your GI Bill.
That's right. And that's the biggest one. And that GI Bill is worth tens of thousands of dollars. And change of your characterization sometimes is all it takes to get those benefits.
So how should a soldier effectively prepare an appeal to the Discharge Review Board?
That's where we at the law office of Will M. Helixon can really help out. First of all, we're familiar with the process. We're familiar with the forms. We're familiar with the timelines. And it's all difficult to understand. The process can change year to year. And what we can do is help the soldier look at their total record and put together a really great appeal that will give them the best shot at relief.
I mean, the bottom line, these are board members, they're people, and you're writing a story.
That's right. And we want to tell the soldier's story in a way that has the board members wanting to know what happens next, wanting to know what's going on with the soldier and how the story ends. And we want the story to end well for the soldier.
Right. If you need to upgrade your discharge or change the reason why you were discharged, give us a call. We're the law office of Will M. Helixon. We are your warrior advocates. You defend the nation. We defend you.